Very good evening to one and all, and I welcome all my Facebook viewers to this live conversation program who are viewing this program. The video of this program is also available in the YouTube tomorrow. Please subscribe to Singer HSG Swami channel to view this video, and please share among your friends, and please share your comments so that this allows us to improve the program, the conduction in the future. Today we have a guest, an intellectual, knowledgeful guest with me for the live conversation on education policy 2020, which is very shortly going to be implemented in all engineering institutions, universities, so far India is concerned. So I have a guest with enriched knowledge in this technology and engineering field with 19 years of experience. Dr. M.B. Sanjay Pande, born in 1968 in Mysore, and he obtained his graduation degree and a post-graduation degree from Sri Jaichamarajendra College of Engineering, Mysore. Presently it is called as JSS Academy for Advanced Education. It is now a deemed university now. And he obtained his doctorate degree from Mysore University, and he has published about 104 technical research papers in various national and international journals of importance. He has guided for 14 students PhD. 14 students have obtained PhD under his technical valuable guidance, and he has obtained one patent in his name, and he is currently working as professor and head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the GM Institute of Technology, Davangere, which is the business hub and technical hub in the central part of Karnataka. And he has total about close to 20 years of teaching research experience. In addition to these educational qualifications, he has delivered many motivational talks, and he is a very good motivational speaker, and he has delivered many motivational talks for the students of first year, second year, or third year and final year in the GMIT also. So very good, inspiring teacher with innovative knowledge, and very friendly with his colleagues, and he has a very good intimacy with all his fellow colleagues of other department also. I welcome Dr. M.B. Sanjay Pandeji for this live conversation on education policy, challenges in implementation, especially connected to technical education. And I believe that you are completely give justice for this conversation, whoever is listening this conversation through the Facebook Live. I once again welcome you for this live conversation.
Thank you, Gordon.
Now you see India is technologically forwarding, advancing in almost all the sectors, especially in engineering sciences. So in view of that, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, has a dream of converting all engineering concepts into the products, ideas into products. In that connection, in that view, a new education policy is introduced at the engineering institutions level, university level, and of course in the future it may be in IITs or IICs level also. Now, to begin with the conversation, I want to hear from you the views of education policy, especially connected to the higher technical education. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Govardhan, for giving this opportunity to share the knowledge which is there. And the general concept where we were, to be frank, most probably your age and my age, when we see the people when we got educated or when we did our graduation, the method of teaching was completely different when compared to the present context where the teaching process has been happened. And one major difference when you see between those two eras, the present and the previous one, was today the students are more interested to get placed into a system than becoming a knowledgeable. So where we were not worried much about a placement, we were worried about getting a degree, and getting a placement was another process. But today a student comes down with a pre-context that prejudice that where do I get
guarantee placement from
guarantee placement from the institution is the first important.
The parent first asks the institution whether my son or daughter will get the placement.
Yeah, that is one concept. The second concept here is as many of the times as my guy Dr. P. Nagbhushan was also delivering in the previous one of the lecture. Today the students are going down with the preparation concept, but they are not going with respect to the learning concept. Students are not interested to understand a subject, deliver a content, but they are still worried about how much marks do I get it. And today students are not worried about the actual process of learning. That's what is a more component here. And that is where I think we are not able to make a right impact with respect to the system. And we are seeing the institutions giving a 80%, 90% placement, or having a student who is a 90% and above in a PUC and 10+2, but still coming down to the first year and getting flunked in one or two subjects. Why exactly this happens is mainly because you are constrained with respect to boundaries till you are at the 10+2. But when the minute you come down to engineering, it's nothing but application of science. That application is somewhere missing. That's one point which I think is more important. And that is where the present NEP goes down to a picture. Because they are not worried about the graduation of a student or getting the marks. They are worried about a student getting a skill set. The minute a student has a skill set, automatically he gets into a placement. That is one point. And one more thing what we are seeing is the student is not coming with the urge of making an impact onto the system. Is more interested in trying to get his degree and go down. And as many of us, we are there in the system also, we may agree with it. The minute a student completes his degree, he goes down to some institutions where they may get some certification process, everything, pay 30,000 or 40,000, and they start placing these students.
Yes.
And this is the one major drawback which the present education system is having. Generally a traditional system is happening.
Right.
That is one point. And the other point is we are not worried about the foundational steps. Foundational steps are literally worried today because we are not preparing a student to actually make an impact. He is becoming most probably a biating guy, which today, because of the expansion in which the system is growing, so that is not happening. Most probably 20 years down the line, the amount of expansion which is there, a boom in any industry was very less. But today it is not the case. So every 6 months there is a new system coming down, new software getting developed with respect to computer science only. And also when many of the times we see that as a faculty, how much I have got upgraded with respect to my knowledge. So that is one thing where I think we may have to make a better impact, and we have to know how to unlearn things. We are not able to make that process. I think these are the more important components which, if we can make it out, I think NEP is already involved into these things. And today students are more focused with respect to certain areas which is there. And today if you see, why is it mechanical students or why mechanical branch is not getting admission? What might be the reason for that? If we go down, is there an upgradation of a knowledge with respect to the syllabus which has been studied? That is not there. So somewhere down the line, I think that is one point which, if we can develop it into the next level, it goes down. I think this is one of my point which I think might be useful for it.
Dear viewers, just 1 second for you. I think our fan is getting more noise into the mic. Just we want to have a switch off the fan. Yes, sir. Continue.
Yeah. So in that context, I think where our Indian system, we had a concept of not only with respect to giving a person or a student a Gurukula system which was there, where we were more worried about a knowledge, wisdom and a truth. This was the Indian philosophy of a student learning. Today that is missing. We had the number one universities throughout the world. You take a Nalanda, you take Takshashila, you take Vikrama. So all these universities are those universities, they did not worry much about what is the location of a student, or it might be what is the background of a student. It was only the urge a student has to learn for it. It might be Aryabhatta, it might be Chanukya, it might be Brahmaputra, it might be, all these people were all students of these things.
Yes.
Our Indian students who could make that impact. But today it's entirely different. Today a student completes his degree and he moves down to most probably another country, and after most probably spending a good amount of time in some other country, after 50 years or 60 years, many of our experts, I'm sorry it might look very odd, but after 50 or 60 years they come down to back to the India and tell, yeah, I want to change the system.
Yes.
This is where the problem is happening. So can at the younger age, if we can make that impact or we can make the difference, it will be more important.
So you believe that NEP will make that difference?
Yeah, if you see the dropout rate, especially the dropout rate, what with respect to the different grades, especially between 6 to 8, it's around about 90%. Between 9 to 10, it is around about 79%. Between 11 to 12, it is around about 56%. This is actual data what we have. So if this is your dropout rate, how do you expect that, yeah, you will make an impact? Now, on the contrary, let's take it in a very simple way. A faculty goes down to the class, he is teaching a student for roughly around about 60. Why is that one student can make a first rank student or a good student 80%, 90%? Why is that there is a failure?
Yes.
So somewhere down the line, we are not developing that student support system. That student support system makes an important impact into the system. That is more important. I think this is one thing. And one more thing, as many of us, as you also an educator, you also know, and many of the educators will also accept these things. I am just taking a saying where we tell that doctors, when we tell them that as an operation is successful, patient is dead. I think we also commit the same mistake. We do result analysis. When do we do result analysis? We do result analysis after the VTU exams are completed, because we are working in a VTU. I'm talking about VTU.
Correct.
So after the exam has been completed, we tell that, yeah, this student has failed. Why can't I do this process much more earlier? So can I think about changing that process? In that context, I think in our campus, especially in my department, what we are doing is, can we do the analysis after the first test? First test, how many students are there who will be there? After the second test, what it might be there? So here, what is happening is, we are able to track him and we will be able to know where exactly it is there. Now, there might be certain particular subjects or courses which are there, where a student might be not able to focus too much, or he might be not able to score more. At least, can we make him to cross over the bridge? Minimum average score so that he can cross over. Can I understand that? That is more important. This happens mainly in a continuous learning.
In what way you think that NEP will change this skill-oriented learning of the student?
Now, here what has happened is, in the case of NEP, they are very strict with respect to their initiating that they are not worried about having a strict examination pattern. They want continuous learning. So the institutions will be given that autonomy. The institutions can make an impact that, yeah, this is how it can be done. Where now most probably you can see the autonomous institutes are there. They will have an opportunity of introducing new courses. They can interact with the industry people and think that, yeah, this is what a market wants, or this is what the industry wants, and this is the software. If you are able to develop it, or if you want to know about it, then they can get a job. Now, let me take one very simple example. I don't know, if you take with respect to civil engineering only. If a student has joined an L&T after doing a BE in civil, he is made to work on one particular assignment, and that assignment might be only with respect to putting a ground floor or with respect to particular flooring. He will not at all be given an opportunity to do anything other than that.
Yes.
Now, if that is the case, how do you think about a holistic development?
And NEP also allows the multidisciplinary learning.
This is that. And so that is one more component where your multidisciplinary, when it comes down, they have an opportunity of knowing more than one thing. And today, you may agree with it, most probably a student who joins even mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical, electronics, everyone wants to become a software engineer. But actual software engineer is a person who studies a computer science or information science or artificial intelligence. These are things.
I heard that your VTU system now allowing the open elective system of education.
Yes.
So that the interdisciplinary,
Yeah.
Students can make learning.
Yeah,
Do you think it is a good part on the NEP policies?
Yeah, 100% sure open elective. But let us try to understand how much are we having a freedom to implement open elective. Once again, there is a binding that based upon the teaching faculty what we have, we are making them to go through certain very specific courses.
Yes. So
This is the problem
the
sometimes.
List of courses announced. In that course, student has to
He has to go for it.
no curriculum autonomy, even though it is very much required.
Yeah, because we are in affiliated system, I cannot go down.
I think NEP will overrule this.
NEP will
give
automatically go down
will
because
give you
NEP will give you the
lot of privileges to change.
100% sure. What generally happens with respect to NEP is you will be given an autonomy to even set a curriculum. That itself is more important. Now, recently when I had an interaction with Dr. Sridhar, who is a BOS chairman, so we are trying to bring out the process where how exactly my 60-40, if you take 60-40 process is there where 60 is your teaching, or even if you take 40 which is your internals, 20 marks for your practical, let us assume you are conducting a test or something. But the remaining 20 marks can be decided based upon some activity or some assignment which can be there. But once again, an assignment must be something having a rubrics. You cannot tell that, I have given you some 5 or 6 questions and these 6 questions will be more than enough for you to understand. That cannot happen. So can you think about the knowledge of a student or gain a knowledge of a student by giving new assignments? Can you do that? See, today more than a student, it's a teacher learning more. So unless until your faculty is not upgraded, there is a problem.
Very, very well said, Dr. Pandeji. Now I have some questions with me, which are prepared based on the expert's opinion.
Yeah.
So I believe that you have the answers with you for these questions. And the trend analysis changes over traditional education to skill-based learning. Does it fulfill the requirements or the needs of the present and future technologies?
Right. I think most probably you have made a very good research or gone through much of the things before taking up this very particular question.
Yes.
Just think about it. Today, we have fragmented our disciplines. A student of electronics is not at all knowing even a ABCD of any other branch.
Yes.
Now, how do we expect that tomorrow, when a student wants to go down and work in some other automation industry? It's highly impossible. Yes. Because you have fragmented your system that he knows only this much. You have prepared your student to study only between A to D, but you are expecting him to go down till Z. Agreed, your NBA tells that it has to be a life learning process, everything. But where is that we have made that opportunity or given the opportunity for a student to go through the process? Ultimately, we have not done it. This is one major component. Did we do that actual process of making a student understand the learning process? The learning process we have restricted ourselves. Agreed, most probably due respect to the people who go down with respect to NBA, all these things. We tell, my question paper has been set with the Bloom's taxonomy using these terminologies, everything. Every other expert has his own opinion on Bloom's taxonomy.
Yeah, sure.
This is one problem. And if you see the newer versions of a Bloom's taxonomy technology, everyone will tell, can I use a explain word? Can I use a describe word? So it is having a complex process, and you cannot set certain subjects with respect to Bloom's taxonomy only. You take even with respect to a mechanical engineering. How do you demonstrate and tell that it has to be done in one particular hour? In a test, if you are asking a demonstrate, how do you expect it?
It is a lab course.
It's completely, but here you are telling that, yeah, my program is working with respect to that. Then, every faculty is now made to prepare a course outcome. What exactly is a course outcome? The course outcome is after learning this particular subject, how exactly the student will be upgraded with respect to the knowledge. But are we going through with it? It's highly tough.
Yes.
We may tell that, yeah, especially in criteria 3, we are told that we have set a target and we have attaining. You take any VTU question paper.
It is only a statistical.
So your internal assessment, you may tell that, yeah, you can do it, but your university exams, whenever you are doing it, it's highly impossible, because you tell that, yeah, it has all been done, you are telling 80-20. It's all problematic. So you are not able to get that one. Now, can you give autonomy for a faculty to do a process? Unfortunately, in affiliated system, it cannot be possible. You are restricted with respect to that. So agreed, with respect to autonomous, where you can tell that, yeah, I will conduct some 5 activities, I will conduct a quiz, I can do the process, everything. But in an affiliated system, it's highly impossible. And think about the number of affiliated systems or institutes which are there in a campus or in a state only. So we have roughly around about 100 plus institutes. How do you think about it? And much more tough thing is, once again, due respect to the faculty, a student who is able to score 20 out of 25 in internals, why is that the same student is not able to score minimum pass marks in a university exam?
Yeah,
this is a problem.
Yes, I'm coming to that question only. See, the many institutions, as I heard, they have a fear of implementing NEP, because the many institutions may be in the rural sector, rural areas, where the students are not technologically so advanced when compared to the urbanizations. In villages, some institutions are there where the technologically they may be very weak. But as per your NEP program, there is no differentiate between urban and rural. In that context, don't you think that student definitely will suffer from the technology point of view, learning point of view, even the faculty of the institute also suffers in that way?
Yeah. Now, where exactly we thought that, yeah, there is a problem with respect to a rural or urban. Let us accept this point that it's a rural students who have really made a better impact with respect to the achievement with credentials or something. But with respect to urban, agreed, I am not discouraging that they are not able to make a better impact. But when you compare these two factors, I think rural students have made a better impact. Now, coming down to the faculty wise, what you are telling, can you not create a cluster of those things? A faculty or something where we are telling that today we are conducting a FDP. How is it FDP is going on? FDP, once it is been conducted, the faculty who has gone to the faculty, your FDP program has to go back to the institute, have a process of making this understand to all his colleagues or present the content into them so that it makes an impact. But today what is happening is, you are going down to a FDP, good, yeah, tomorrow in NBA criteria 5, I'll get some marks.
And you will show that and get some marks.
That's all. So that must not happen.
So that FDP learning outcome is not being transferred at
that transfer of knowledge is not happening.
Happening.
So the transfer of knowledge, once it happens, automatically this process happens. So where we thought that training a trainers is a very big impact, but that is not happening yet. And once again, some of the times what happens is, I know something, but I don't want to share it with someone. This is also a problem, where as a teacher, my job is to push across the content so that sit across, discuss with it, everyone will have all yes and no concept. So can I try to push across my content so that I will be more knowledgeable? This is more important. See, why exactly we are having a failure is, if you take our quality academic research, Why I am talking about this is quality academic research in India is only 0.69% of our GDP. But with respect to US, it is around about 2.8. Other way around, in Israel it is 4.3. But in South Korea, it's around about 4.2 of a GDP.
What is
Where
this?
exactly your domestic product, you are not able to bring, as you were telling, idea to product is not all working. You have ideas. Today we are talking about IIC, innovation, everything. Where exactly is it going? COVID actually gave us an opportunity to learn and make something better impact. But how many of them are actually becoming a marketable product? How many of them are trying it? At least give a try. So we are not able to take it. We are trying to place it.
So the researchers is limiting only for publication of the papers.
Publication and getting a doctorate.
Getting the doctorate.
And see that I will get my higher salary.
Yes.
So this is where you have to,
This attitude
has to go.
Change, the concept.
The scenario has to change.
The idea should be transferred, and this transformation should happen in the product, so the
Yeah,
society
100%.
can use those products.
See,
This is the view.
when compared to the students when we were a students and the present students are quite different. See, today my student who is studying now in a 7th semester, but she got her internship, everything, most probably in 3rd year only. There are few students who are in the 3rd year. One of my J&K student who is Amir Mukbul, he completed his internship with the Siemens in 3rd year. Now, how do you think that there is a difference in knowledge? It is there. The presence of knowledge is there. Somewhere we are not getting connected.
Okay, so the role of faculty is also very, very important.
Highly important today. It has almost become, you are not a faculty today, you are more becoming a facilitator. You don't have to teach today. Where I think many of the times when we were
A
working,
day will come that even blackboard teaching may
automatically diminish.
diminish.
Automatically diminish, because technology today it is like that. Today people, even when you go down to many of your software engineers, they don't write even programs today. They can download it to the Google. Even they don't have to use the word Google. They can go down to the very simple Alisa, and she can only give you the code for your program. So this is the problem. We are not using, or we are not getting connected to the system, which is completely in a different process. That is where I think we are making it.
Pandeji, I will be moving to the next question. Very well said. You have given a very good justifications for that. And implementing the more soft skills, especially in the undergraduate institutions, do you think that the non-circuit branches will be in problem?
See, especially there is a black sheep concept. People tell that the students who are going down to the non-circuit branches are weak academically, which I don't agree. Every course has its own plus and minus. Today, you cannot expect that a student who is with the mechanical or a civil or a electrical is not knowledgeable. People tell that, yeah, if you are a computer science student, if you are an information science, you are electronics, you are the topper, you know everything. No, that cannot happen. Today you can ask most probably a good software engineer after 10 years or 15 years, he goes down to most probably weekend ashramas to see that his life is happy. But that is not there. The concept itself was not there. So soft skill is something wherein you must be able to understand a process and system. If you take 80% of the institutes today, you can ask any of the placement officer, they tell that they have cleared the technical round, but they have failed in HR round. Why did they fail in HR round? They tell this person is not able to talk only. He doesn't has a communication skill, but he is 80%, 90%. How did he get 80 or 90%?
Yes.
He has a writing. He may not be able to present vocally, but is there not a process of writing? He has done one process of communication already. So the faculty or the process of mentoring, what we are talking, they have to make a better impact of making a student to talk. Today, coming down to the stage itself is a big problem for our students. They think that, hey, if I have to go down to the stage, someone may feel bad, my classmate may feel bad.
Inferiority complex.
High inferiority complex. They think that, yeah, if I go down to the stage, if I make a mistake, what will happen? As a faculty, when we are delivering a lecture, Every faculty will do this. Did you understand anything? Did you understand? No one will tell yes.
Yes.
So the minute you have not got an answer, yes or no, you assume that it is yes and you continue with it. But ultimately after the class, if you ask, or during the class only you ask a question, will you tell the answer? No.
No.
Why is this happening? That is where the soft skill comes into a picture. We do not have to worry about what the next person is. That is where we very specifically have a concept called as forum. We are calling it as a Falcon Club, which is there, wherein we make a students to involve as a group discussion. It might be a team player, or it might be even doing any activity, whatever it might be, in such a way that he becomes more useful. There you are able to find that an average student is making an impact.
Yes.
Average student makes much more better impact. Today most probably organizations have that problem. They are encouraging toppers, but where is that we are having it? So that's where even in NBA they tell slow learners, for them remedial classes, tutorial classes.
Don't you think that diversifying students in a classroom, you are weak and you are intelligent, or you are a slow learner, fast learner, is making an impact on the minds of the students?
Yeah, the minute you are telling that, say, can I make a point that yeah, you are a slow learner? Inside a class, I am 100% sure what you are telling is correct. But can I not counsel him?
Because student may think, yes, I have declared as a weak student.
Yeah.
And I will not worry about the
failure or a success, whatever it is there.
Is that the difference?
Yeah, see, in the class if you are doing it, it's a wrong. I don't accept it. But when you are telling that you have a good mentoring system, can I not make him sit with me, try to make him understand where exactly he has gone wrong? See, mentoring system is not a process where you are counseling him to become something. As I told you, I want you to see that the faculty has to see that the student goes to the next level, that's all. Don't make him think that, yeah, the minute you do some things, it will happen. Like for example, I'll tell you, one of my faculty, Mr. Santosh, who is there, what he does is, after the test, now in the university you know that after 6 weeks you will have a first test. They conduct a test. Now if you see that some of the students who have not scored better, now let us assume some students are there who have scored less than 10 out of 25. I know who are those students. So make them understand, take some extra classes. It might be 5 classes or 10 classes. Make them understand that this is what was there, and they may require a different way of teaching when compared to this person. That's why Agarwal are the slow learners. So you make them understand, most probably out of 10 students, you give even the same question, no problem. You may see that out of 10, most probably 3 or 4 might have changed. There is a marginal change, but that may also make an impact. But saying in the class that you have not done well or all those things, as we had our previous schooling system, that is wrong. That must not happen. That I don't agree. But making him sit, understand, which is a job of a mentor as a facilitator also, will be really effective. That's what my concept comes from.
What learning system you are expecting from the NEP 2020?
Now, whenever you are having any course, let us assume a C programming, because this is one simple concept or simple course what it is there. When the minute you start teaching the C program, there are 2 factors which will come. A PUC student who has studied PCMB, that is physics, chemistry, maths, biology, he comes down and tells that, sir, I am not at all studied computer science, so it may not be easy for me. There might be a student who has studied PCMC, who has studied already computer science in his PUC. The way you have to teach for him is completely different. Because this guy has already studied what exactly is the syllabus, what you are trying to teach him. Now, can I make this student gel with him in such a way that conduct certain activities which will make him to make the other student who is your slow learners according to you, but not indicating in the class, by having some
collaborative learning.
That might be collaborative learning. You can have a role plays which are there, or it might be even your, what you tell, experiential learning, whatever method you want, you can take it up. It might be even quiz also if you want. All these methods are called, we call it as a pedagogical teaching. So you can implement those things and we can make it. There is nothing wrong in it. Now, you can see that many of the times your courses, the same thing, if you take a computer programming only, the same content is there as a lab also. Now, why is that a student has passed in practicals, but he has not passed in theory? There might be something wrong. Now, what is that wrong? I am not diagnosing that system. We straight away blame a student that, yeah, you did not study. I take a credit when a student passes. But why is that I don't take a responsibility when a student has failed?